Alright, went ahead and switched over from the loop and drain to a bell siphon. This is actually the first run of it. I just started the system back up. Just kind of see what the water level is and stuff like that. See how loud it is. I kind of have everything tuned in now finally for that loop drain, but I just wanted to see what this would do. As far as my seeds go, I do have some that are starting. If I can get this hooked up. There you go, there's some. It's really hard to see these, but there's some onion sprouts there. Their roots are, if I go like this, you kind of see the roots. So they're kind of going now. And then I got some, maybe, this, there we go. So there's the lettuce is sprouting up rather nice. I don't know how this focuses. It's kind of hard to tell on the screen. I think these are my chives there. So, can't remember how long it's been. I'll look at the dates and times later. See how long she's been. I did start up here in the corner some hot peppers. Did some chilies, jalapenos, and habaneros. I figured to give them a shot. I put this tray in just to kind of hold these here, this polyfill, but I did this polyfill here just to catch any little extra waste, little fine particles that weren't seeking. Let's see here, got my swirl filter, so you can see some of the solids at the bottom there, stuff like that. It's doing okay. I do need, I'm going to put a light under this side of the tank here and kind of get all this stuff sorted out the way I need it. I do need to get some better lighting on this system, which I will eventually, but I did just get some more clay here, put another bag in. I was hoping they had a big bag, but they only had one small bag. Looks like our bell siphon's starting to go. Turn this other light on here. Start to drain there. See the bed. See how it works out. Should just start taking it like crazy. Like I said, this is the first run of it, so, and maybe my plumbing's too big for my flow. I'm not sure. That's kind of something I'm trying to figure out. Yeah. Maybe oops, we're going. My water level's about where I want it. Maybe a little higher than I would like, but that's why I want to get one more bag as well. Kind of help with that. So far it's taken almost 4 minutes, which is about the rate it was at before. About 4 minutes before it actually drained out. So I'm keeping time with the camera on the that's kind of why I was rolling. So come on. I don't know if my let's see how this goes. I don't know if I need to put a little bit more flow to it, or I'm just gonna let it go, see what happens. Figured after a certain amount of time, if it doesn't drain down, then probably have to change some stuff. But I am thinking about dropping the pipe size down to help with the siphon, considering I have, you know, this little bit of flow in it. But this polyfill here, that's for like quilting. It's really cheap at Walmart. You can get huge mats of it. But once I get this bed actually established, what I might do and fix this part here and actually do a kind of a 90 coming in. I might just put a piece of sponge there. I do have some sponge, and just set that on there and just kind of recycle it back to the bottom of the tank. So I'm gonna pause this and see how long this actually takes. Alright, so what I did is I put a little kind of a reducer. It was just off the end of this pipe here, what was threaded in there. I just stuck it on the bottom, because what I did was I put my finger over it a little bit, cut about half the flow, and it just started siphoning right away. So yeah, I thought this pipe might have been a little bit too big to siphon at my flow rate, so we'll see if this actually sucks it down like I got it sitting. And I was actually kind of wanting that sitting in the water a little bit, kind of help the sound. So then once that started actually making sound, then I would put some water in it, type of thing. That actually is really close to the right height. So we'll see if this thing actually starts taking off here. So there's a little bit of bubbles coming out the side, so it might be getting a little flow down there. See if it just starts. Oh, there she goes. It's taking off like crazy. Bro, you can see the flow dropping hard. See how that, there you go. This is a little bit quieter. I don't know. It's not a huge difference. But alright, there we go. It's pretty much done there. Maybe. Alright, there it broke Syphon. I just got to move all this rock back over here. But let's go ahead and pull that Syphon out. So you kind of see there's a... So that determines our water level in the middle there. And I just have holes drilled in the side here, and what'll happen, see, this sits up vertical, there's a cap on it. So you'll put this over top of that center pipe there, set that over it. So what happens is the water raises up here, starts overflowing down this center pipe. And what that'll end up doing is creating a siphon, and it'll suck the water out really fast, and then when it gets down to one of these top holes, it'll be an air break, so the air will actually flow in there and stop the siphon, and it'll fill your bed back up. Real cheap, basic design. I mean, this setup here, I mean, the pipe was the most expensive thing just because I bought a 4-foot section, and I don't know, I think I have $2 in this, something like that. Not much into everything else. I had some stuff laying around, so we'll drop that back on there. Good, actually. Here, I'll let that actually fill up and then set it on there, and watch how fast it sucks down. But so far, this is working out pretty good. I think I'm going to get my LED lights for up here. And what I might do is actually have it so do those ceiling lights or whatever, so I can screw them up in there so it's kind of a flush mount, and then I can kind of box that in later or whatever. I might paint this stuff white eventually. I'm just kind of testing the system out and seeing what I got going on. Just doing trials first. Then I can kind of get on. Now I can get my wiring kind of set up. But if you look, I got this pump on the lowest setting for the system, so I got plenty of pump, that's for sure. What I might end up doing is getting possibly a 100-gallon tank. I'm not sure yet, to set this up instead of the setup I got now. This is just a temporary deal, because this tank here is a sump that's going to go over here for my community tank that I have. And I got a 135-gallon tank out in the garage. That's going to be the community tank. So I'm going to set that all up over there. I I thought about trying to tie the aquaponics system into it, but I don't know if I really want to deal with setting that all up on that. So I think what I'll do is actually take and try to find another tank on Craigslist, because I do want to get some tilapia in this system and try that out. So we'll kind of see what I got in the area. Alright, this is about to just start overflowing. So kind of see how this works. Alright, now it's just starting to pour over there, as you can see. And it'll just maintain that level. And if you look, I got now you can kind of see where my bed level's at, where the water level's maybe a little bit higher than I want. That's why I think if I get one more bag, I'll be good to go. Or what I could do is cut that down a little bit. But I actually want to get another bag is kind of what I want to do, because then I'll have everything the height I want it. So now, see that's draining down. Alright, and you'll kind of, I'll look at this and see if it goes. We'll drop the siphon on there. It should just take off here. Maybe. It might have to be a little bit more level to start siphoning. That's why I'm thinking I need to reduce this down a little bit more. Let's see here. Put my finger over it. Yeah, I think I'm about to reduce that down. So what I'm going to actually do, or start to go now. So I'm actually going to take this fitting off here and just put it on there at 90, and then see how that does, see if it changes a little bit. I think I might actually cut that pipe down, just get the water level down a little bit more, so that's not totally soaked in water. So it's gasping. So that's the update for us now. So we got some sprouts going. We'll kind of see how long it takes before they start growing, where I'll actually just set them in the bed. And what I might do is break off a little piece of paper towel and just set them in there, just so I don't have to screw with it anymore. Alright, I kind of have the bell siphon tuned in. It does have to be out of water, and that's kind of what I figured. It'll just continue to siphon. I had to play around with some different lengths here inside this bell siphon. Got one that's going to work for now, until I get a little bit more media. I think the main reason I want to get more media is the cycle time. I don't know how much it actually matters, but I think the standard people do is about 15 minutes from what I've seen. So put that back on there. Alright, here it goes. I got here it goes. It's gonna take off now. There it goes. So I just reduced down a little bit just with some fittings I had laying around. I think I want to drop that down to 1/2 inch coming out. It's all 3/4, because I don't have these hoses going in, and the flow going in isn't that great. It's just a little bit. And I just happen to use all 3/4 stuff, but it's draining it pretty fast. So think about dropping the size of the exit down. I do need to put an emergency overflow, which will probably just tap into the side here, 90 it down straight into the sump. Other than that, everything seems to be working fine now. I need to figure out my cycle times. I don't think it's that great, but whatever, we'll just see what happens. It's all trial.